Hello, welcome back. This is Jacob and today we are going to be continuing the narration and character voice acting for the Unrealized Realities story. Alright, time for part 2 and to continue our journey through this story and see what today's part is going to bring us. All I'm going to say for today's part as a little prep before we head in is you might need a whiteboard. You might need some string and a whiteboard. Today's part will be definitely kicking the story into high gear with both the plot that is happening in the foreground and in the background. So if you want to follow along, you might need a whiteboard and some string. But joking aside, yeah, today's part will definitely be doing some developments. But before we head into any of that, as always, to anybody who bumps into the voiceover through this very episode, you can find the full playlist for this story in the description box of this very video, together with the predating Rhine Lab stories that led us all the way to this point, and also you can find the playlist for the Kjerag stories, considering that Kjerag is also technically now tied into Rhine Lab as well, with a Rhine Lab over there as well, a subsidiary essentially. So if you want to catch up with those, one of which has also very recently ended, they're all in the description box, and plus a couple of more extra items as well in there. So if there's anything in there you need to catch up with, all I can say is enjoy and thank you very much. Alright, but for everybody else, we're gonna do the quick little recap here of the previous part as usual. So if you want to skip that one, you can do so with the timestamps in the description box, the YouTube bar itself, or just chapter select, so whatever floats your boat, and you will be at the beginning of the part. But anyway, so last time we started the story in the convalescence of the Banshees with Lakaramalin and Tin Man. Tin Man is there to pay one last visit to an old Banshee acquaintance of his called Viella. But once he reaches the hut where Viella is spending her last embers of her life at, she is not there. Switching over then to Columbia, we get introduced to a funny-looking mascot and the Air Expo Columbia that is about to happen aboard the Propeller Paradise experimental park. That is a mouthful. Essentially, a flying mobile city experiment with many platforms, many showcases, and research objects, and a ton of commercial crap everywhere. We also get introduced to a girl serving as a tour guide called Oakley there, and another character called Gordon Tannen. Gordon is part of the ATAO and has just been informed by his old boss, Gustave, that he is now the chief executive of the entire park. Meanwhile, Rhine Lab with Nasti and her assistant Sky Jagger are preparing their botanical vivarium for the expo and are conducting inspections on the park. A short time later, Nasti meets Gordon's secretary, Mercia. Mercia was sent by Gordon to negotiate with Nasti about the inspections and their order, and after coming to a compromise, Nasti agrees to it. In the meantime, Sky is inspecting a company by the name of Lucky Sisty Beast that doesn't pass the inspection, and Sky shuts it down. A quick flashback to 2 years ago then shows us the night of Kirsten's miracle. Sky, who ran after that beam of light, and then runs into Nasti. Hopping back to the present, the owner of the Lucky Sisty Beast, Aspen, is handing in the resignation papers, but gets offered to call a unremarkable number instead. Gordon and Mercia, on the other hand, are celebrating the recent successes, but get surprised when a tour guide by the name of Oakley appears, even though someone with that name has already been working as a guide for a while. It turns out this new guy really is the actual Oakley, and the other person, a girl named Fern, was an imposter. Luck would have it though that Fern is also just a tour guide who only sneaked into Propeller Paradise to fulfill the wish of her client, that client being an old Banshee. Aspen, meanwhile, who was going to meet up with someone who can secretly help him stay in the expo, finds himself in a weird room with lots of crazy items on display, a talking drone with a fish bowl on it, and his contact turned out to be none other than Gordon Tannen himself. Later, in an attempt to get rid of Fern in a way, Mercia brings her to Nasti. Fern is excited to meet another Banshee, but gets later ignored a bit too much in the vivarium. Fern then decides to borrow a bone pen she spots, but unknown to her, that bone pen was a centerpiece of the whole setup in the vivarium. The removal of which makes it so that all other plants start to wither and die on the spot. Fern returns then to her client in her room with the pen, but the old Banshee is gone. And yeah, that is pretty much where we left off last time, so let's head into the expo again. Right then, today we're gonna be covering the story where we left off, from stage number 3 all the way to the end of stage number 5. It's gonna be quite the progress, but yeah, the story is pretty tight, pretty small, I would say, especially compared to the recent Kjerag story. But yeah, anyway, also considering today we're gonna be covering the story all the way to stage number 5, on stage number 4 is the requirement to get the free unit from the shop, so once we're done with the episode, as usual, I'm gonna be recruiting the blue lizard to the roster. But let's begin first. So, you are 3, titled Stall Protection. Do the newest flyers not respond to controls? Crash it a few times, and the manufacturer will either deal with your problem or be dealt with by the problem. Classic. Flashback. Thank you for the hospitality. The pleasure is all mine. It's such a joy to see a Banshee these days. Why is that? Makes it easier for me to ask for an elegy when me or my family reach the end of the road. Not much has changed with Casdell, but few Banshees come anymore. Our departed kin won't find the myriad souls without your guidance. I'm sorry. I'll do my best. Just kidding. You came to treat that roosting tree of yours, right? Is this the branch? Incantation analysis failed to discover the reasons behind its decay. It is the pillar of the entire Banshee race. A friend recommended you as a child of soil and stone, familiar with plants. Please. Let me see what I can do. I'll get some dirt. Can you get a pot from the backyard? If you see any foul beasts stealing vegetables, just chase them away. Disperse. The foul beasts disperse, but the decrepit vegetable garden is not quiet yet. A vegetable sprout vibrates violently in front of Viella. Then, a black branch-like horn emerges from the dust-covered leaves. Foul beast stealing vegetables. Get lost! I'll rip your head off! You shouldn't yell like that. It's bad for your voice. No need to be afraid. I would not hurt a child. The young Banshee peeks out from behind the leaves, hiding a half-eaten piece of vegetable leaf behind her back. Don't you dare take my food. If it's your food. What's that in your hand? Before Viella can react, the young Banshee has snatched the roosting tree branch from her hand and begins trying to eat it. Just a stupid branch that's been lying in the mud. It stinks. Are you hungry? Let me see. I made some pastries from the dew caps that grow along the shore of Mist Lake. It's the right season for them. Safer to scrounge food of the dead. Get away from me. The young Banshee lets out a menacing howl. You're not scared? Even those big mercs are scared of that sound. That is the sound of the Banshees, of our clan. I have not heard this note in the Song of the Banshees for a long time. Years ago, the last one who sang it. You are that child. You know who taught me the sound, but I've never met you before. We don't come to Casdell much these days. Our home is in a distant valley, a place where trees grow, with fruit hanging from their branches. It's hard to find food. You gotta be ready for a beating. But let's say the place you're talking about really exists, where fruit just grows on trees like that. What's the catch? Clever girl. Maybe you should come with me. You belong there. You'll like it. Even if you don't believe it exists. Why should I? Your name is Nasti, isn't it? Is that the presence of a Banshee I sense? And what's that? Vitter? The decay? No. Nasti. Are you trying to repeat the mistakes of the past? Most of the Rhine staff have evacuated the vivarium, sir. Only Nasti and a few researchers are staying behind to organize documents. They don't look happy. Are you happy? The plan wasn't to ruin the whole vivarium. You said the tour guide knew too much about the Banshees. This was a chance to expose her and drag Nasti into it. Kill two foul beasts with one stone. It was a rough plan to begin with. Isn't the vivarium accident a convenient excuse to stop Rhine's inspections? Convenient? And where do you think we'll find that frickin' guide? I know Nasti. She would never let something like this happen to the vivarium just accidentally. Besides, there's no way she would risk Rhine's exhibit, with the exhibition right around the corner. The guide, she was gone before the alarm sounded. She must have done something. It's not enough to just evacuate the researchers. There's a good chance that Nasti's already onto my plan, and is just waiting for evidence. Evidence that I can't afford to give her. Tell your man to find Fern by sundown. Yes, sir. Deep breaths, Fern. Maybe she just went off on her own. No. She doesn't even remember why she came to Propeller Paradise. Where on terra could she go? But if that's not what she did... then someone must have taken her. Who's there? Miss. What are you doing here? What are you standing there for? Hurry up and move these saplings for the exhibition. Those are our last ones. All dead? In 5 minutes? Mercia reaches out to touch the withered tree in the middle of the vivarium. She sees a small hole at eye level. A natural cavity. No, a connector. The withered plants, the tree hole, no equipment malfunction. Tell me, what was that branch attached to you? And where did it go? It was Fern. You took that bone pen from the tree in the vivarium, didn't you? It's plain, simple, unremarkable.
You couldn't have known that it was the key that controls the entire vivarium. It wasn't your intention to sabotage it. Is Mr. Tennant waiting outside with this man? I came alone, miss. I don't think the responsibility for what happened to the vivarium should fall on your shoulders. What do you mean? There are some things I still have to look into, but I've suspected that Mr. Tennant has been plotting against Rhine ever since he agreed to help the mysterious Banshee guest for no apparent reason. Either that, or his own private interests are involved. You suspect your own boss? But he said Columbia would do good by a good person. He also said that there's nobody easier to deal with than a good person. Then my client... There's a row of VIP rooms outside Mr. Tennant's office. You could try looking there. I hope your client just went out for a walk. I truly do.
Gordon must be behind this. Altering the list of inspections, then sabotaging the whole vivarium and putting the Rhine exhibit on lockdown. What are you gonna do next? Chase us out of Propeller Paradise?
There is no problem with our systems or hardware.
He sent someone to steal your bone pen.
It's not like him.
Why are you trying to use logic to explain the actions of a bandit? They don't operate under the same rules we do, except when they talk officialese. None of the corporations of Propeller Paradise do. We're closer to the barrier than anyone else. We're different. Countless tech firms fall by the wayside, but the business registrar rarely gets any complaints. Why? Because there is a consensus. In the Sky Age, the higher you stand, the more respect you deserve. Gordon's interference with our experiments violates Propeller Paradise's consensus. He should,
You don't want to be bound by the rules, but you still want to exploit them. You're proving that Rhine is not yet ready to reach those heights.
What?
Stop working and listen up, everybody. This is about today's incident and how we proceed from here. Cultivation and I have confirmed that the 72 trees waiting to be replanted, 350 saplings and more than 1,000 ungerminated seeds are all dead. The Propeller Paradise police are now in charge of investigating the incident. We don't know how long that will take, but there is no realistic chance that the vivarium can be restored before the exhibition. Senior researchers will have to stay behind and work on the incident report with me. The rest of you can enjoy a little time off. Any questions?
Director Lunare, you said the vivarium was our most important project. The accumulation of data sent back by the Rhine Lab. Does this mean that we failed to protect the last legacy of Galeria Stellaria?
Dismissed. VIP rooms outside the office area. Here we are. Mercia had suspicions, but no proof that Mr. Tennant really... Never mind. The most important thing is to find a client.
Tried to run again and I started breaking bones.
There's someone inside?
For anyone's sake, quit crying and keep quiet until the end of the exhibition. My head hurts. Let me get a smoke. Please, sir, let me go. I won't say anything about Mr. Tennant.
Oakley? What are you doing here? Open your eyes.
The imposter.
I've got a name. it's Fern. Mr. Tennant said he was gonna treat you well and pay you compensation. What's going on?
Treat me well? He freaking locked me up! And none of this would have happened if you didn't impersonate me!
Hey, you're the one who begged me to take your number and resume that night. Tears and snot all over your face. What did you say back then? You were a lonely soul looking for love.
Alright. Stop! Me and my rotten luck. It's a huge deal letting unauthorized personnel sneak into a high-security experiment zone. That's why they wanted to shut me up. But how did you get out? I heard the guards say that Mr. Tennant was gonna deal with the troublemaking imposter.
I see.
Are we dead? I just wanted to see what life would be like in the future. But now it looks like I ain't got no future no more.
You wanna join my tour? Real Oakley?
What?
I got in unnoticed. I can get you out safely.
You can? Man alive. I went up for a smoke and a whole person just grew out from the floor, or what? You can get in, but you won't get out.
Not gonna let us go in peace, huh?
You mean it when you say you can get me out? I'll join your tour, or whatever it is. Just get me out of here.
Good. You won't regret it. Let me tell you about how I braved the dangers of the Bleach Wasteland.
Just deal with this guy. Damn, my hands are still tied.
Don't worry. A good tour guide never makes her customers do her job.
Welcome to Fern's Tours. Please be aware that you may encounter loud noises during this tour. Cover your ears or keep your distance from me. Now, let's get moving.
Oh!
Run!
Freaking hell! After them! Don't let them get away! Survival of the fittest, cooling of the unfit. Since when has Rhine become one of the unfit? Oh, Mr. Jagger, what are you doing here? That's my line. What are you doing here when you should have already cancelled Lucky Sissy Beast's registration? I'm not doing anything illegal. We solved our technical issues before we filed the cancellation. What a stroke of luck! You solved it. Why didn't anyone contact engineering? Maybe Word didn't have time to get around because of how sudden it was. Anyway, Mr. Tennant announced that all technical inspections by Rhine Lab are suspended. I don't need to report to you anymore. How could they have solved it all of a sudden when 3 days didn't do it? The lucky Sissy Beasts' luck? Quick, take the readings before their people come back. All the data is good. Too good, in fact. It's almost as if they were specifically calibrated to the benchmarks. Wait, these aren't Propeller Paradise standard issue screws, are they? They're completely soldered. Won't budge. Huh. The whole core energy module is sealed shut. But no power unit on Propeller Paradise sounds like this. No legal power unit anyway. Where did they get this weird non-compliant stuff from? I thought all procurement on Propeller Paradise goes through... Ah, I get it now. Silly me for thinking that survival of the fittest was really the rule on Propeller Paradise. Still helping that bastard put together the report for the accident at Rhine? Forget it. Director Lunaray would just dismiss me for not having evidence. Who else can help? Flashback. My ride will be there in 5 minutes. I'll bring you a Propeller Paradise mascot plushie if I find one.
I'm not a kid.
See you later then.
You've been playing catch with your branches in the corridor ever since you stepped out of Saria's office. You're stalling. I can tell.
There really ought to be a law about invading an individual's privacy with a water clone.
Not likely to happen, unless there's another water elf in Columbia.
The branches on Nasti's belt suddenly grow, pointing in the direction of the water elf, and twist open the tool attachment. As though rehearsed 1,000 times, Mulesy takes a step to the right, dodging the bionic branch robot's trick.
You know I'm stuck in Kjerag and can't come in person.
Maintaining a water clone at long distance is a draining task. Are you so worried that I might flub up Kirsten's legacy?
It's you that I'm worried about, not some derivative of Galeria Stellaria. It takes time for a seed to grow into a sapling, and all more so when you hope it will become a towering tree. Relax. Not even Ferdinand would complain about the results you're pulling.
That's because I blocked his email.
You helped make Kirsten's dreams come true by digging away under the Tremont suburbs. Now it's your turn. Have you ever thought about...
I'm not going back to the Convalis. The serene tranquility of the Convalis does not belong to a flawed Banshee, nor can it inspire her.
But,
It's time to go.
Just a sec. Here.
A, potted plant?
Ecological dug it out of the desert. It's resistant to heat and cold, and just as stubborn as you. Call it a goodbye, Pretzi. No need for vivariums. Just remember to water it. It'll keep a watchful eye on you. Maybe even help you. In return, take care of the vivarium and yourself. And, get me a Propeller Paradise mascot plushie. If they really exist.
The withered branches on the first floor planters have been cleaned up. This potted plant is the only one from the exhibit that survived. I'll take it. What about the underground plants? Transmitted data are as expected, but monitoring coverage is limited. We haven't had time to send someone to check on site. I'll go. Thanks. Director Lunaray. Anyone from outside here? No, ma'am. We've continued to simulate experimental conditions here. Just in case. Reveal. No sign of entry. Was it really an accident? We've compiled the report on the dead plants. Do you want to review it now? Alright, let's go. Nasti Lunaray, Director of Engineering. Credentials confirmed. Welcome. Where the heck did those two go? Did something happen, sir? No need to be alarmed. We're just simulating missions on the Shadow Moon. Mr. Tannen's orders. Columbia keeps our people safe, wherever they are. Split up. Keep a low profile. Roger. So it was a drill. Huh, it's just like a rifle blockbuster. What was it called? Battlefield Shadow Moon, I think?
See? Those cards are Casimirzian space knights. Don't give us away.
Skip the comedy, imposter. Where do you go next?
Not many places to hide on the Flying Donut Station, while the ring corridor in the back is perfect for an ambush.
Then what do we do? I signed your tour contract. You gotta get me out of here.
Settle down, real Oakley. You're on Propeller Paradise. Forget what you think you know about terra firma. That's a Walbert Kuczynski jump board you're testing, right? Can we borrow it?
Sure. Huh? What's that sound? Look up! How the frick did I get on top of a floating pod?
Oh, I forgot. People look up on Propeller Paradise.
What do we do? Shoot them down! Oh, is that simulating the air cannon the villain fires in the climatic scene? Wait, I think I smell... Virginium powder? Fire!
Run!
Trash all of them! It took so much work just to put Rhine down, but now we have a rogue tour guide on the loose. I would have gone after that feline myself if I didn't have business to do. Would you like me to eliminate those ignorant Terrans, Sky Conqueror? Show them true power from beyond Terra? No need, 5-4. She's a tour guide, not a special agent. First, report on Gustave. He and his retinue are floating around Cloud and the VIP area. They have passed through the ring corridor, but no one has found the hidden door yet. When I first joined ATAO 7 years ago, Gustave would notice if I swiped a liquid originium lighter from a stowaway. I thought he didn't like me because he used to be a soldier, hated crooks, and wanted everything to be done the right way. Only later did I find out it was because I left too many loose ends. I learned everything from him. His way of doing things, his way of talking, even how I dress. As for the result, this pod holds treasures from across Terra. It's much bigger than ATAO's dirty lockers. Gustave on one side, Nasti on the other. So what? I'm not the clueless kid from 7 years ago. They'll never find out what I did, unless I hand-deliver the evidence. Once the exhibition opens and thousands of exhibits fly into the sky, all these secrets and illicit transactions won't matter anymore. Everyone will know that it was Gordon Tennant who lit the fire under Propeller Paradise! Not Rhine! Not to see! Warning! Terran approaching! What's that sound?
Don't blow it up. Might be somebody below.
Don't try to poke your way out of...
Oh!
Gordon Tennant looks up in the smoke and dust as he forces his teary eyes open, trying to see just what is going on. A familiar figure descends amidst the rubble and dust, her legs flailing wildly. He just ordered her arrest several hours ago. They are only about 90 centimeters apart, both their brains working feverishly to process the situation. Time itself feels frozen as Gordon and Fern stand off against one another, scrambling to take in each other's expressions.
They really blew it up. Where the hell am I anyway? This place isn't on my map. There was a hidden door in the ring corridor? And why am I staring at Tennant right now? Was this a trap? But why is there such a look of surprise and shock on his face? Are these exhibits on the walls? Wait a second. I've definitely seen these arts units at these street stalls when I got dragged into that black market by the Sarkas. And that hat over there, isn't it standard issue for the Zayadinian Sargonian tombs? Shoot, is it too late to pretend I never saw any of this?
Oh no, please don't hit the high explosive originite grenade, or this entire pod goes up in smoke! Damn it! It's been one thing after another since this fake guy came to Propeller Paradise! Is she Rhine's enemy or Nasti's spy? She ruined my plans once at the vivarium, and now she's doing it again! What's she looking at? The active Originium Storm Guide beacon? Or the Zayadance Witchcraft helmet? Shit! She recognizes these! What's she gonna do with the dirt on me? She gonna sell it to someone? If Nasti or Gustav I find out. The delayed gravity pulls Fern sharply downward. Gordon has no time to save his collection. All he can do is watch as the feline approaches rapidly. The distance between them disappears, as do the complicated thoughts flashing through their minds. As they await the impending impact, there is only time for them to say a single word. Shit! The comedic ending on this one is gold. Just shit. Also, I hope I'm not the only one, but I'm definitely not the only one, but I do not think my heart and soul were ready for a baby Nasti. That is freaking adorable. Holy shit. That was a big surprise. I was not expecting them to actually like flashback that far into the past and show us a mini version of hers. So yeah, very interesting past. So she was born by someone seemingly that Viella knew, but someone who has left the Convalis apparently, and yeah, she apparently recognized her. I mean, she knew her name immediately and brought her back in, seemingly. Very, very interesting, but also in that flashback we get to see something actually completely new as well, which is that random, probably just random NPC model that they use here for the gargoyle dude, which is completely new. That was also out of left field. I was not expecting to see like just an actual gargoyle guy, which is interesting. Very, very interesting that they went that far to show an actual gargoyle with wings and everything. Very, 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 very interesting. I wonder if the guy is gonna turn out to be some actual proper character for later, because he does have a lot of detail to him. He doesn't look like a generic NPC model, if you ask me. He looks like he's someone important, but I guess we're gonna have to follow the story and see if he comes up again, or if he's gonna come up in another story in the future. But outside of that, very interesting stuff around the expo yet again. Outside of Fern and the actual Oakley crashing into Tennant's secret room, Sky is very interesting, honestly. Like, I feel like, and it's gonna be a bit more prevalent throughout this part today, but so I'm not gonna go into too much detail. But I think he's underselling him a tiny bit, himself a tiny bit too much. Like, the guy has absolutely impeccable hearing. Like he was literally just listening to the device humming in the freaking thing and realized, hey, this is not a standard model. Whatever they're using for the power source is not a standard model. Like, I have to give the guy some props. He's very interesting and has some very crazy capabilities, both with hearing and some other things. But yeah, interesting stuff. More shit happening in the background, and Mercia definitely also acting a bit sussy there, way more than already on introduction. But more on that later. Now, before we continue on with stage number 4, we have one new enemy to introduce here on this stage, which is the Skybreaker Soda Keg. And it says, a flying soda keg that was banned by the ATAO 3 days after its release for being too dangerous. Perhaps a hat with a hole in it will one day be displayed in the Columbian Aerospace Museum, commemorating the wrong turns in the development of flight technology. Sure, buddy. Anyway, we move on to stage number 4, titled Jet a Stream Over Clear Skies. Open your eyes and fight your nausea. It's not the sky that's churning, it's just you.
I said you can't go in.
And I said I'm with the Rhine Lab. I know the access rules for Propeller Paradise facilities better than you do, and no special permission is required to visit Cloud. It's a restaurant.
You would be correct under normal circumstances, but there is an important guest here right now.
Let him in. I think this young man's looking for me. I take it the debriefing on the Rhine Vivarium incident is done? Nothing gets past you. I just happen to know a few people who are committed to Columbia's great project here. Including Gordon Tannen. I guess you're not here to try and recoup Rhine's losses. There isn't enough time before the exhibition now, even with emergency funding. Please take a look at this inspection report. A tech startup solved a technical flaw that was discovered during inspections and received permission to stay on Propeller Paradise. What's the problem? Lucky CSTBs never pass the recheck. They have to leave Propeller Paradise today according to the rules. But I just saw their owner and discovered that they solved the energy problem that had plagued them for months. On the eve of the exhibition, deadlines, science, miracles. Classic potato chip flavors, so to speak. No, look at this page. I focused on several components that are not involved in standard inspection and found that their output is more than 10 times the standard values. Well, to put it in simpler terms, you don't need to explain technical terms to me. I wrote the manual of Columbian Originium component standards you're carrying. Do you mean to say that Lucky CSTBs invented power components far exceeding national standards in the span of a few hours? Invented? They don't have the chops for that. I think someone transplanted a non-Columbian heart into that failure. You know the rules of Propeller Paradise. All Terran eyes are on our progress in levitation technology. All the parts invented must be made in Columbia to ensure security. I'm not accusing the ATAO of negligence. No ordinary officer could have let a corporation dodge Rhine's regular and random inspections, unless someone manipulated the engineering section's inspection order. Coincidentally, Director Lunaray came to an agreement with a certain official. Gordon Tannen. He would stop at nothing to tie Rhine's hands, because we are the true original proponents of Propeller Paradise, and the engineering section is a pair of eyes that could uncover his secret at any time. So you're speculating that Gordon Tannen has been running a smuggling operation behind the scenes? That is a serious accusation, young man. And it's why I had to come to you, sir. Until Propeller Paradise gets to DC, you're the only one in the position to deal with your diligent subordinate. I'm curious. Does your supervisor know about this? Things wouldn't have come to this if Director Lunaray did anything. Good! What do you mean? You're a sharp, brave young man. Nasti wouldn't have let you stay behind to spend time with me if she knew. Sir! I'm the only one in the position to deal with Gordon. An interesting way to put it, He used to butt heads with me, true, but that's the folly of youth. And true enough of you too. The first thing I ever taught him was that we'll always be of one mind when we stand for Columbia. Hey! The young Rhine researcher can only watch as Gustave takes the report and turns to walk into the interior of the restaurant. He is shocked and angry. He wants to charge at Gustave, but the man makes a simple gesture and bodyguards twist the young scientist's arm, causing him to cry out in pain and frustration. Hello? What a coincidence. Kjerag is taken outside by the bodyguards, not knowing whether he'll be thrown into one of the lower level jail cells or locked away in some secret room. He hears Gustave pick up the phone. The man must be calling Gordon Tannen now. Kjerag regrets not leaving a copy of the evidence for Nasti. If he could just get back to the vivarium. Suddenly, the pain is gone. The bodyguards let go of him and push him into the elevator to take him away from Cloud.
Hey! You can hear me, right? I swear I won't say a word about Mr. Tannen's smuggling operation. We really didn't mean to barge into his collection. Take a break, Oakley. You keep going like this, they're gonna start getting ideas that the best way to shut someone up is to kill them. You're crying again. Don't worry about it. Giving prisoners the silent treatment is normal.
Sounds like you know your presence.
Where do you think I got my silver tongue? Even if I ran into a bunch of Arcasauria who couldn't understand a word I was saying and had me surrounded with spears, I could still get my point across with nothing but winks and gestures.
You really think we can get out of this jail?
Have you ever been to Bleached Wasteland?
No, I hear the sandstorms there tear through the toughest metal sheet and rip flesh from bone in an instant.
True. All the guides say it's off limits for a reason, and no travel agencies take tours there. But I didn't want to assume it was impossible just because of hearsay.
Don't tell me you actually went there? And you got out alive?
It's a grey desert. The scorching sun reflects off the sand. You can see dark purple cliffs in the distance beyond the dunes, and the cacti grow taller than either of us. It is a dangerous place, and you can't even tell what you're standing on when the winds rage. But the sands are nearly as sharp as knives.
Incredible.
My dad used to say that impossible is just an excuse for the lazy and cowardly. I learned from him and became a guide unlike the others, one who dares to brave the unknown.
You had a supportive father. I'm jealous.
I did. That's why you should pick yourself up, Oakley. I'll grant your wish, and my Banshee client's wish too. Our journey isn't over yet.
Get up, both of you.
What are you gonna do? Stay back!
What's going on? Come with me and don't cause any trouble. Mr. Tannen wants to see you.
What did I say? This isn't the end.
Yes, I understand. I apologize for the trouble, sir.
Screw that condescending old fox! We've got a retirement age in Columbia for a goddamn reason! I'm not his coffee boy anymore, and I'll be damned if I let him yell in my face over getting their sugar wrong!
Mr. Tannen, 5-4 is going to burst if you feed it anymore.
5-4 foams at the mouth. You take over the feeding. Not a single thing has worked out
didn't get those meddling Rhine Lab eggheads out of Propeller Paradise, and now the old Fox and Nasti's people know about my side hustle. And those two bastards showed up out of nowhere to ruin most of my arts unit collection. There's stuff there you can't even get anywhere else.
Arts unit. Hustle. So you were smuggling all the time you were away on unexplained trips?
You think it's wrong to help tech firms find their footing in the sky?
No, it's not my place to judge, but why are you bringing those two intruders over? Are you planning to deal with them?
What's with the angst? I got bigger plans for them than just settling a score. No one can take Propeller Paradise away from me without evidence. The rest of my collection needs to be cleared ASAP, before anyone else can intervene.
You want them to smuggle the contraband out for you? But everything that enters or leaves Propeller Paradise is subject to stringent checks, even if you give an expedited order. Besides,
the existing channels are out of service because of engineering's renovation work, and I can't wait that long. This is all Nasti's fault for that energy system modification shit. Floating botanical units and Rhine's people are everywhere now. Wait, Rhine? Well, they're gonna block off my routes. It's only fair that I borrow theirs.
you mean the engineering tunnel beneath the Rhine Vivarium, used to transport heavy equipment and construction materials?
Exactly. With the Vivarium on lockdown, nothing offers better cover than Rhine turf. I know where the old fox is, but Nasti.
I'll take care of Director Lunar Ray, sir, as long as you ensure the safety of the two intruders.
You?
I'm confident I can distract her while you carry out your plan. I only need one thing, the Banshee's bone pen that you confiscated from Fern.
Gonna move on? Don't keep Mr. Tannen waiting.
He's gonna have our heads for ruining his collection room! Just paying money isn't so bad. The real problem is if he wants a deal.
We're here. I brought them.
Thank you, sir. You may return to your duties. Mercia, my client... Unfortunately, it seems Mr. Tannen had nothing to do with your client's disappearance. I'll do my best to keep an eye out. Where did that Banshee go? Just go through the door and forget about her for now. Make sure you do exactly what Mr. Tannen tells you if you ever want to leave Propeller Paradise on your own 2 feet. What's he planning? He's going to make you an offer you can't refuse.
Skyjagger's steps grow slower and slower. He used to dash through this corridor, and his colleagues laughed at him for being impatient. How could he not be impatient? He did not have the luxury of a traditional education or having his path paved for him. His family circumstances forced him to waste too much time on things other than research. But now he stands on the shoulders of Rhine Lab, at the pinnacle of applied science in Columbia, about to touch the very dome that has witnessed a miracle. There should not be any obstacles. No one has the right to hold back this great work. I must tell Director Lunar about Tannen's secret and apologize. Footsteps? I thought all the researchers were evacuated.
Does this thing come off at all? It looks like one of those centrifugal safety membranes that the revolving bar used.
Don't touch it if you're not sure. We'll ask our new boss later.
Is Nasti still in her office? I heard she was willing to lose the whole vivarium to save us, and that grumpy kid.
Shh! Shut your big mouth. Nasti's a good person. That's all we need to know. Grumpy kid? Me?
Thank you for your time. I think this is the beginning of a beautiful partnership.
You're Gustav's secretary? What are you doing here?
Ah, you must be Sky Jagger. I finished my business with Director Lunare. Excuse me.
You're back. You apologized to Gustave?
Yes.
You gave up all of Rhine's engineering control and agreed to stop active inspections?
Yes.
Rhine Lab has essentially withdrawn from the exhibition and will no longer appear on the catalog?
Yes. We'll need to store our experiment equipment here later. Come and help, if you have the energy.
Director,
Yes?
You knew I would screw up. You knew I was just an average Joe. That's why you kept me busy with inspections and botanical units, right? You are right. In the end, I'm just a muss beast in the gutter. I understood greatness, but I could never become part of it. To be forgiven, saved, protected. Like all the testers here, I'm just an ordinary guy left in the dust. I wouldn't be here without your help.
I needed new employees and an aide. That's all. I stayed with a group of pioneers when I first came to Columbia. They despised me for being a Banshee who couldn't use incantations. I despised them for being lousy There was no passivity in our interactions. We forgave each other, saved each other, and protected each other. As we do now. As it should be.
The vivarium is quiet, but the presence of the testers seems to have changed this place of cold, metallic rationality. A misshapen wire pull tab has been added to the microscope slide box's stubborn lid. A sheet of plywood hangs from the air conditioning vent, making it a little less unbearably chilly. A few watch-out notes are pasted on the glass door that Sky tends to run into when he is angry. They remind him of his little sister. The average, ordinary one who in his eyes must always be protected. He has never turned around to look back at her, not since he witnessed the miracle.
If moving forward means we can't look back, how do we make sure we're still walking the same path that we chose in the beginning? What meaning is there in progress if it leads to a future that has been curated for only a select few? Why should ordinary people be left behind?
I never took you for an orator, Director.
All I do is state facts, ask questions, find the solution, repeat. Get moving, before you let big words and big ideals take you for a ride. Sorry I'm late. I was busy today.
Mercia, please. I must remember.
Your situation is unusual. Your memories are like wilted leaves hanging from withered branches. Wiping away the dust might restore some sheen, but if you press too hard, you'll only damage them further. By all rights, I should not even touch them, if not for, Sorry, Madame Viola.
I must know. I
must remember. Your memories since leaving your homeland have not been happy ones. However, if you insist, close your eyes and we'll try again.
Mercia puts her old projector on the table with some effort. Her fingers glide as glass slides drop into the slot, and the aging Banshee becomes covered in an unfamiliar scene.
I remember this place. Leithanian? She, mentioned it. The spire. Shackles. Blood.
Slowly, indistinct memories begin to diffuse on the backdrop cast by the projector. Mercia can identify an elderly figure shackled by the wall, as robed figures come and go. The smell of blood, a terrifying melody, the marks of arts.
A Leithanian spire. Were you imprisoned there as a test subject? You would have been buried beneath the tomes of the spirecasters, if not for the aid of a lich. The Ecclesia Requietum in the Holy City. You were in the funeral procession for kindred who have wandered afar, or the foe of your clan? But the angels didn't like it, did they? They wanted laughter at their funerals, not wailing. You were almost arrested by the Pontifica Chorus. You came to Columbia through the frontiers? Even the bleached wasteland? The wind-blasted land which not even beasts dare to tread? And finally, you came here. Why Propeller Paradise in particular? What did you come looking for?
Here. There is a tree here. The tree here is wilting, decaying, wilting, decaying.
I see. We have a vivarium here, and a terrible accident just happened in it. Wilt and decay, as you say. The master of the vivarium... she's a Banshee too. Do you know this thing?
The bone pen that caused the disaster at the vivarium, which was later confiscated by Gordon Tannen, now lies in Mercia's hand, white and innocent.
Her. I sense her presence. You came to look for someone. I want to see her. No need to crouch so low, Oakley. The arts unit on your back is sleeping.
This is Rhine Lab's underground passage. The walls could have nanomonitors listening to us. Besides, we have to worry about Propeller Paradise's warning system too. Why do we have to avoid the police if we're doing this for Tannen?
Do you think he trusts many of his subordinates? Even the elevator guard could be a pair of eyes for some big shot. If anything goes wrong, the trouble could go way further than just a few boxes of contraband.
So the two of us, being outsiders with no such interest in this, ended up being the best choice to dispose of this stuff?
Yes. But there is something I haven't been able to figure out.
What is it?
You got someone to do your job, and you got someone to meet them on the other side. Why not just lie down in your office, pet your fin beast, and put on some jazz? Aren't you worried about getting yourself in trouble if you're on the scene, sir?
I came to see my little darlings off.
What is it?
Quit fidgeting! You almost hit the wall with the arts recreation unit. I told you to treat it nicely, like your life depends on it.
Yeah, I remember. You'd better remember what you said too. If we deliver your darlings safely and keep our mouths shut.
Then we're square.
Great.
Don't let your guard down. Nasti has refused to leave the vivarium. She's continuing her research in the middle of a room full of failures, pulling all-nighters.
So she's right above us. I think I hear her footsteps.
Don't worry, Marcia will take care of her. Mary? Mary?
Yes, Mr. Tennant, I hear you.
What's going on there? If something goes wrong, you've got to keep Nasti distracted. Whatever it takes.
Don't worry, sir. It was my negligence that allowed the accidents to happen. I'll keep a close eye on Director Lunare and ensure she leaves the Rhine Vivarium, buying as much time for you as possible.
Very good. See? Even Mary steps up her game when it matters most. You two had better do the same. We're almost at the exit.
Yes, sir.
Fern has a keen sense of hearing.
There is a risk that you will be exposed. Do you need the Emergency Management Council to intervene?
There are better ways to use the mail in their name. No need to worry about me. Being Mr. Tennant's secretary makes an excellent cover.
Report. Bravo's intel is that the Rhine technical staff have evacuated the experiment zone. Director Lunare and her aide are the only ones who currently access this site. However, she spends an inexplicable amount of time here. Yes, apologies are in order. As members of your squad, we should have trusted your judgment. It does seem that the Rhine Lab might be hiding something under the exhibition hall.
No need to apologize. My mission was to monitor the tech firms.
What about Director Lunare? If we need to perform further investigation?
I have a plan. We'll have at least 20 minutes. If everything goes well, I prepared a gift that she can't refuse.
Whoa! Again. Is this the system that the vivarium and floating botanical units run on? I knew the Banshees were good at manipulating objects from a distance, but to abandon sound as the medium, sealing incantations inside the module, and repairing flaws through self-cycling. This is a revolutionary innovation. If it's all incantation driven,
you should stop reading purely speculative papers.
Most people don't know much about the Banshees. I understand they rarely leave the Valley of the Convalis. Did you live there before coming to Columbia?
My first memories are of Kasdal. I was later adopted by one of my kin and taken to the Convalis.
What kind of place is it?
A peaceful, beautiful place. The riverbanks are covered in grass and shrubs. The flowers never wilt, and the fruit never falls. Not even rain disturbs its tranquility, much less catastrophe.
Why did you leave then? Huh, who could it be? At this hour? Director! Over here! Is this your bone pen?
Part of it.
The conical tip, severed from the rest of the pen, rolls across the floor. Who could have done this? What happened in the vivarium wasn't an accident. It wasn't a practical joke. Everything was planned and they were targeting someone. Maybe the target was you, or maybe Rhine Lab itself.
There is a way to find out. Guide.
The fragment in Nasti's hand floats up into the air at her command, a white halo enveloping it. The pen tip spins a few times, then slowly flies off in a certain direction.
Looks like the other half of the pen isn't far away.
Director.
It could be a trap, yes, but I must go. I sense traces of a familiar incantation from the bone pen.
So yeah, the big reveal about who Marcia actually is. Before we however get to any of that, first off, we have one new enemy to introduce here from this stage, which is the Scorching Propeller. And it says, widely used in Propeller Paradise to keep things afloat. It is an excellent performer that offers both power and stability. Unfortunately, its poor cooling causes platforms equipped with it to feel like midsummer all year round. And all I can say to that is, no thanks. It's the beginning of June. The temperatures are already hitting temperatures that should only be around in like July to August, to the end of August. So 30 plus Celsius. I can live without this thing. No thanks. Summer came 1 month too early. But yeah. Anyway, so yeah, Marcia being a Mainlander agent was one of my suspicions. You're probably gonna hear it later in the clip section, but yeah, I was suspecting her to be some form of agent that has been sent to watch either over the whole thing here that is taking place or over Gordon specifically. And yeah, she's pretty much here to do both that, but also specifically look at what Gordon is doing. And yeah, she's a Mainlander agent, which also means that she is working for the Tin Man directly. But more importantly, she has some very interesting arts abilities that are tied with that projector that she carries around. I wonder what that is about, because that thing is very OP. First off, she manages to visualize memories from a person, which is the thing she was doing from Viella. But more importantly, as a reminder, over here on stage 3 in the first cutscene, in the before cutscene, there was a little flashback sequence where she was asking the plants. She was asking the plants if they can tell her what happened, and she found out. She can use the ability on plant life. That is insane. That is very OP for an agent. I'm a bit terrified. I'm a tiny bit terrified of this woman. Holy shit, that is really a busted skill. Like, what the hell? But yeah, the plot thickens, the Mainlanders are on the move, and yeah, Sky is, as I said earlier as well, Sky is a very interesting character. I kinda like him, but he is still young and he's still naive. Which obviously he's going through the phase of his life where he's gonna definitely burn himself and learn by burning himself. And that got pretty well shown at the beginning, where he literally approached Gustave, who he believed is gonna do something against Gordon, without realizing that obviously Gustave is in leagues with Gordon. So yeah, nothing of it. Boy, he will learn. He will learn. Anyway, we move on to our next scene, which is the scene-only stage, URST2, titled Test Flight. And it says, a seed born of turbulent times takes root in the skies.
Where's the exit? According to the map, we should be able to see the checkpoint machines now.
Are we gonna keep going? There's nobody else here, and it's so eerily quiet.
Of course there's nobody else here, or we be exposed. Get your act together.
Red liquid! It's dripping from the ceiling. It fell on my face!
It's rusty water from the pipes. Don't make me sew your mouth shut.
Mr. Tennant, you said we'd be exposed. exposed if there's anybody else here, right?
They look in the direction that Fern is pointing and see this somebody else. An ethereal figure walks towards them slowly from the end of the passage, flickering like a ghost in the dim light.
Something feels familiar.
Oh shit!
Keep walking. Authority over the Iran experiment area is legitimate and absolute. Doesn't matter who's coming.
Is that so? I would like an explanation, Tenon.
The Iran experiment area is under investigation, Nasti. You agreed to cooperate with the administrative officers and the Propeller Paradise police.
How am I supposed to cooperate with an investigation that I know nothing about? Besides, it's news to me that guides are administrative officers now.
The guide visited Rhine shortly before the lab accident. It makes perfect sense to have her along for evidence gathering. As for the lack of prior notice, it's entirely within my rights to make the decision to ensure the integrity of the investigation.
Gordon Tannen considered every potential contingency, even an interrogation by Gustave. He knew he could not depend on Mercia, and he was confident he could handle this, but he cannot stop his thick tail from nervously slapping the ground, as though it senses a threat, something beyond his control. Nasti is gazing at him, indecipherable, seemingly hiding something. Eeriness and anxiety caused Gordon Tannen to tighten his left fist in his pocket.
I was just supposed to keep an eye out with the water clone hidden in the plants. Nasti never told me the head of Propeller Paradise would be so hard to fool. I'd wear myself out arguing with him all night. Let's do this my way.
The sound of dripping water, which accompanied the trio their whole way down the tunnel, is suddenly silent. Water droplets break free from the constraints of physics and float in mid-air. They feel a coolness at their feet. Only now do they notice that the water on the floor has reached their ankles.
Mr. Tannen, look! Is that still Director Lunare?
Gordon Tannen cannot believe what he's seeing. Water streams into Nasti from all directions, carrying her higher and higher, looking down at the three invaders. Gordon Tannen has never seen such effects from an arts unit. Prudence would certainly be in order if this was Banshee witchcraft, but there is something that scares him even more. Nasti bends down at him, with a cute expression that the one by the name would never wear.
There really isn't a single fresh thing on Terra, is there? I've heard this pre-written spiel 1,000 times. How about we talk about something else? Like, what's in those two big boxes of yours? Don't tell me they're presents for Rhine Lab. We've still got a ways to go until Christmas, I thought.
Who are you?
Nasti, the director of Rhine's engineering section, whose vivarium you just ruined a few hours ago. Who else?
She would never talk like that. Why do you look like you're saluting? That's a casting gesture, isn't it?
Huh. You noticed.
You can't fool me. I don't know what your arts do, but this underground passage belongs to Rhine, and anything that happens will only come back to bite you. You're not satisfied with just losing the experiments for the exhibit, huh? You want to go to jail with the rest of your people?
Let me remind you of something. Like you said, this underground passage belongs to Rhine, and you personally gave the order to shut it off. But I bet a whole lot of gold certificates that your people don't know about tonight's investigation. How many would know where to go to look for your corpses?
You there? Run!
It is nighttime. Nasti feels a daze as she walks the streets of Propeller Paradise. This place began as a proposal from Rhine, built by Nasti personally, but Nasti no longer recognizes any of the myriad inventions that adorn it. She even has to stop and think in order to figure out how the inflatable street lamps by the roadside work. Nasti cannot help but feel that she is walking into an unfamiliar life.
It's like when I first came to Rhine. Mulesies emerged from the sink, teasing me for my ignorance as she walked me through sterile lab cleaning procedures.
Nasti stops in her tracks. Another fragment of the bone pen lies quietly in the gaps of the bricks, having guided her all the way here. She picks up the fragment, as she once did when she walked into a new life for the first time. Flashback. Young Nasti walks the forests of the Convalis, carrying a bag far larger than she is, and stuffing it with broken twigs. It has been 2 weeks since she and Viola arrived in the Convalis, and Viola is busy with younger Banshees, who come to her with questions of every kind. Only when the Banshees are all asleep, and there is no one in the valley, does Viola have time to take Nasti's hand and walk with her through this beautiful place. Finally, Nasti decided to build a treehouse on her own, but the bag of twigs is too heavy for her, and she must wait for Viola to pick her up.
It has been so long since the rainy season. Isn't it time for another rowing competition? When do we...
Let me clear the mud of the eastern shores of the lake. But no spin incantation on the boat this time, please.
Teacher, one of the mistapple vines is getting in my house. Can I cut it?
No, my child. Nothing is better for wiping one's feather horns than the pulp of a mistapple. Perhaps you could guide the vine to grow in a different direction. It'll be a chance for me to see if you've been practicing the incantations I taught you.
How long has it been since we last received a token from outside, Custodian?
We've only had 5 or 6 this month. I dealt with them when I was in Casdell to ask the child of soil and stone to treat the roosting tree.
So few?
Isn't it a good thing?
It's been half a year since you taught me the elegies, but I haven't really had the chance to sing for anyone. Can I go next time? And help our kin?
Alright. Let Viola rest. It's alright. This is what I'm supposed to do.
The children call you teacher and custodian. I never confer these titles. What you've done for the Convalis over the past 2 centuries puts me to shame as the Lord of the Banshees.
You know the reason. I have to keep working to distract myself. Did Ducarel cause you any trouble during your audience with Her Highness? He's been hostile towards our people ever since we retired to the Convalis.
He's hostile to everyone. But speaking of Her Highness, she showed me the early fruits of her exploration into the nature of Originium. Perhaps she has already chosen a more resolute path.
What about us, then? What about the Convalis?
The Convalis is no longer associated with the future of the Sarkas, even if Her Highness really has changed her mind. It remains the Banshee's sanctuary. You brought a girl back a little while ago, didn't you?
The daughter of a stray sister. I should have found her 5 years ago.
Fennel keeps asking me when he can come and see her. He's so curious about everything beyond the valley. The boy. Please tell Fennel that Nasti is rather timid and needs time to get used to the convalis. That's not true. I'm not timid. You know that. Yes, but you'll be living with other banshees for a very long time. They'll share fruit with you, rather than throw rocks at you. Living with them will be very different from living in Kazdal. That's why I want your meeting to be more formal. Give me time to prepare, won't you? Understood. But what are you preparing? Does it have something to do with the token from outside that you were talking about? The things in your house? Those black blood crystals? Dirty shrouds? And dried up hearts? But why do you say there were only 5 or 6? You always stay up late, peering at them, with a deep frown on your face. Nasti. Do you like this valley? Yes. There's no blood in the mud, no black rocks in houses, no fighting, plenty of food, and no one ever disturbs you. Do you want to stay here? Yes. That's why I want to build my own treehouse soon. Have you decided where? There's a big beautiful tree deep in the valley, right? What's the name? The roosting tree? Yes, it's the Banshee's final resting place. Everyone lives there, right? Even though you've never taken me there. I want to live closer to that place. Can I? And when will you teach me incantations? That way, I can move this bag of twigs myself. No need to be so hurried. When will you teach me how to play the bone whistle? That way, I could play in front of the others when we play together. I took one from your house, but I couldn't make a sound with it. No need to be so hurried, my dear girl. The tired Banshee suddenly seems so unfamiliar to Nasti. She knows where Raella always starts when polishing her own feather horns, and how many nearly indistinguishable black dresses she has. But she can never tell what Raella is thinking. Nasti stops asking questions and raises the bone whistle, obstinately blowing on it in futility, until a soaring melody covers up the muffled sound she is making. You want to play the whistle for the other children, don't you? One does not need a bone whistle to accompany a smile. Come, child, I'll teach you. Nasti does not understand how that simple leaf in Railla's hands can make a sound, much as why that sound is so full of sorrow. The sky is blue, the waters of Mist Lake murmur on, and everything seems perfect. Nasti follows Railla's gaze. The branches of the roosting tree are just barely visible in the distance, swaying like reeds, like fate. Nasti is still in Rhine experiment area and is preparing to kill Tannen. Stay behind me, Miss Celine. I run faster than Mr. Tannen. Should we really get into a fight with the Banshee? But that Nasti was just a potted plant. A water clone? Muses? Here? Just a little gadget enchanted with water elf arts. Doesn't actually do much. A combination of Nasti's image, Muses, inspiration, and home field advantage. No one could have predicted it. No wonder those three were scared away.
Should we evacuate with Mr. Tennant, then?
No, keep going, following the traces left behind by the water.
According to the blueprints, we're almost at a dead end. There's nothing except the watermarks. Maybe that was indeed a bluff by Muses.
Nasti's a genius engineer. It wouldn't be hard for her to leave a hidden space out of the blueprints. Besides, the presence of the water clone itself is a sign that there are potential secrets here. I've been thinking, why is Nasti the only one here when there are two Rhine directors working on the project?
By all accounts, the vivarium should fall within Muses' domain, shouldn't it?
Unless, by its very nature, it's something only Nasti can do.
You mean,
If your potted plant suddenly died, sorry, purely hypothetical, would your first reaction be to keep checking the time on your watch over and over?
No. I would be more concerned about the cause of death than the time.
But that was what the most experienced researchers near Nasti did when the incident at the vivarium occurred. Check the time. It was almost as though they expected the wilting to happen. It just didn't happen at the expected time.
Therefore, Rhine's claim that they were studying plants that can survive at high altitude, based on data from the Galleria Stellaria...
It's a cover story. I think Maylander has found Rhine's true secret. Rhine doesn't need the plants in the vivarium to live. It needs them to die. Not the life that an elf celebrates, but the death that a Banshee knows well.
But why?
Death will water. A tree that is even more special.
The elderly Banshee stands in the shadow at the end of the street. She has waited a long time. The night is longer than the 3 centuries that she lived. She watches as the familiar figure approaches. It is taller and sturdier than she remembers. The facial features look different. The clothes are of an unfamiliar style. Not so familiar anymore. Bayalla's head begins to ache. Her chaotic memories are like mist lake in deep winter, the cold and heavy mist swallowing her in an instant.
Separate. Guide.
Nasti places the fragments of the bone pen in the center of a palm and recites the language of the Banshees. The incantation separates the scent that does not belong to her, but is very familiar, and leads her to its source. There is no wind, but the bone pen begins to sway. All will be answered soon. Then...
Nasti! Nasti! Careful!
What's the situation over there?
There's someone else.
Mr. Tannen, stop! I think we're lost.
I think we're lost too. I can't believe how much space Rhine has beneath the experiment area. This has got to be against the rules. Usually when scientists leave so much space in their labs, they're either saving it for a big plan, or it's from a big plan that's already gone off the rails.
Sir, is it just me or is the ground,
The ground's cracking.
Looks like it's the former.
Somebody help!
When did the door behind us close?
Damn it. Please tell me it's not a giant missile, Nasti.
The concrete beneath their feet shatters, as though it were made from crackers. Gordon Tannen tries to hook the pillars with his tail, grab the walls with his hands, but all he finds is a single twig, glowing dimly. Beneath them, a canopy made from metal and withered wood expands in the darkness. The glowing tree rises up silently into the night sky, as if 1,000 stars are rushing upwards.
This thing doesn't have a propeller. An engine? There isn't any sound of machinery. How could it possibly fly? Nasty. Rhine Lab. Huh. I'll be completely damned. Shit. Why do these guards feel the need to shine lights into the sky just because some humongous thing is taking off in the middle of the night? Who the hell trained the... Oh, right. It was me. Huh. Right.
Would you say we're exposed, sir?
I would say we are, given that everyone who's awake in Propeller Paradise right now is seeing us hanging off a tree with 2 big boxes of contraband. You think there's a chance if I yell that I found some dangerous Rhine experiments to the people below? No. Not a freaking chance. I can't let this thing get ruined until I figure out how on Terra it could fly. Okay, it really is over now.
What just happened?
I think our intrusion might have awakened something. But now there are no secrets on Propeller Paradise anymore.
Is this another miracle, Director Lunare? Or is it a stillborn miracle?
No need to say anything. I can see it all from here. I'll head back right away.
Nasti. A moment of hesitation, and the elderly Banshee fails to say the name. Viola watches as the young Banshee departs. She looks in her direction and sees a huge, glowing tree slowly rising into the sky. The roots of the tree are not secured, swaying in the night breeze. At this distance, they sway like weeds, like fate. Is that the roasting tree? I have to say, I love, once again, how Sky brings up certain stuff, and earlier in the story said, like, come on, we have to have something in our pocket, right? Something like from 2 years ago when Kirsten was doing her shit behind the scenes without everybody knowing, and then, and then this happens. Of course! Of course they have something in their pocket. Of course they have something stored away that no one knows about. This is Rhine Lab after all. Of course they're gonna have something hidden away that is suddenly gonna launch itself upwards. Good God. I love the callback to the earlier point of the story where, again, Sky said that and now we're at the point where, yeah, there is actually something. But yeah, also, Mumu water clone that is pretending to be Nasti is absolute uncanny valley and hilarity at the same time. Nasti with a happy saluting expression is That's definitely something. That is definitely something. I don't even know how to describe that outside of shivers. Not the good kind, just ugh. What the shit. Also, I think it's gonna make it into the clip section anyway, but I hope I'm not the only one who saw the water going in reverse upwards and immediately thought, reverse 1999 reference? Maybe? What is happening? Is Merton gonna jump out of a corner right now? What's going on? Do we all need umbrellas? That was kind of funny. Reference for me personally. Probably not an actual reference to the whole thing, but very funny to see actually. When you play other games with that stuff in there. But yeah, stuff is happening. Nasti almost met her foster mother, and speaking of that, that also scene, once again, the flashback scene from the past and seeing Nasti hang out with Viella before the whole memory thing started happening with her. Very wholesome. Very wholesome to see these two. Again, I said this earlier, I have a dumb... I think I said this in the previous part, but if I didn't, I have a dumb feeling the story is gonna end with the old Banshee essentially dying. And it's gonna be very bittersweet sad, because she is basically on her way out. Now, why is she here specifically is still not really answered outside of trying to find Nasti, but she also seems to be looking for some other things, and it might have to do something with the very thing that went into the sky just now that looks pretty much like the tree from the Convalis. So, with that in mind, let's head into our next section, which is stage number 5, titled See and Salute. Should you look up at the fantasies floating through the air, or the conductor before you, who is less amused? What the frick is with a tree up in the air? There are only a few days until the exhibition. How many stands does that thing take up? Rhine Lab didn't apply for upper level exhibition rights? Rhine and the ATO must be colluding. I saw Gordon Tannen on the tree that night. Gustave, former ATO director, promised in a broadcast that he'd have an explanation the next morning. And what actually happened? Not one word from the committee. I bet they're stalling for time. Please remain patient. The credibility of the Propeller Paradise administration and engineering departments is at stake here. We need to deal with this carefully and come up with a plan that can satisfy the hundreds of corporations that have an interest in the project. Who's asking you to deal with it carefully? Yes. Who gives a crap? It's not like this is another Ring Lab. The engineering department's inspections have stopped, and the administration's vetting is over. Who cares if Propeller Paradise officials are doing their jobs or not? But the hearing is a necessary part of the oversight process. Investigations and trials, those are your problem. We just want to know the... Out of the way. I said, out of the way. You really think that sitting here puts your illegal equipment out of our reach? It remains Rhine Lab property until the hearing is underway. Besides, what are you calling illegal equipment? Don't you recognize a floating botanical unit when you see it? The saplings floating around you are no different from the one behind us. You insolent little... I need more men over here! Sky, we don't have the numbers. We can only hold out for so long if they decide to use force. Besides, we don't know whether this tree-like device behind us is legal, or whether it's safe. After all, it's only been 2 years since control, right? I'll ask you one question. As a scientist, Are you willing to just hand over the product of Director Lunaray's sweat and blood?
No, but
Then take action. Leave no regrets. If only we had more people, but Rhine only has so many people on Propeller Paradise.
Did you forget that we are Rhine Lab people too, Mr. Jagger?
I didn't want to drag you into this.
You're worried about the hearing.
It's not like we haven't seen our share of trumped-up charges.
Those guards wouldn't have gotten onto this platform if you called us sooner.
Bunch of slum slugs trying to play the hero. Possession of illegal equipment, destruction of property, aiding and abetting. There's enough to keep you all locked away for years. I'd already be locked away if Director Lunaray didn't take me in.
You wanna touch the tree? You have to go through us.
Don't threaten me with a good time. Rhine researchers and testers form a wall against the guards attempting to enter, while curious onlookers on the outside look up at the towering tree. A tall, dark figure walks past the rear of the crowd, footsteps clanking. So, this is Rhine's tree.
It's an honor to see you here.
Oh, you flatter me, Mercia. I've been on an extended holiday, and it's about time I got back in the saddle.
Are you here for the hearing?
Yes, the design of the Mainlander Emergency Management Council badge is really nice. You should try one on.
Is my mission over?
Our mission has only just started.
What are your orders?
No rush. These past few days have been quite eventful. Other than Nasti and Gordon Tannen, are there any other stories that I should hear?
No.
Good. See you at the ropeway station in 5 minutes. There's so much going on with Propeller Paradise that I'm sure I'll need a local guide.
Understood.
Nasti.
Sorry, I should have closed the window. Company reps and testers are protesting on the streets. The longer the hearing takes, the more restless they get. Are you feeling better? You're in poor shape. You've already seen Director Lunaray. Perhaps I should send you back to the Convalesce.
No. No. No.
Another no. Just like last night. Things will only get messier on Propeller Paradise in the coming days. It'll be even more difficult to leave.
We're in jail again. They didn't even bother to change our cell. The time of the hearing keeps changing. Do you think they might be looking for more evidence and stack even more charges on us? Look, if they ask, I'm telling the truth that you're the imposter. Come on, say something. You're scaring me.
You know, nomadic prisons on the Barren Lands could become tourist attractions. The only problem is that it's much easier to get in than out.
You're still thinking about tours at a time like this? You've already lost one client, and now you're putting your other in jail?
I'll find her, and there's no need for you to worry.
How do you figure?
No trial, no ID check, no notice to appear. You think the guards are just stalling for time to find a way to charge us?
Yes.
I don't think so. I think it's a sign. You and I are not the focus of this hearing.
Fern and Oakley are in jail. Mary hasn't been seen since last night. All the phone lines at the registrar are busy. Everyone at the Reginium slugs are looking for me in Nasti. It's time I put what I learned from the old man into practice. I'll have an answer for everything. I have nothing to fear. Looks like the old fox has lost his touch. No one's come to interrogate me yet. Wait a second. Ooh. Alright. I still show up as the chief executive of Propeller Paradise on the terminal.
Sky Conqueror is currently under excessive stress. Please remember your health. We are on a long journey that leads beyond Terra.
Damn it. Are they gonna start that hearing or not? Everything will be over and done with if I were in charge. The old coup just keeps tripping me up. It's been this way for 7 years. Why haven't you gotten one bit better in the past 7 years? Gustave. How would you do it if you were in charge? You thought you could pat yourself on the back for stopping the Rhine inspections, thinking you could continue to run your little hustle very free. Huh. What do you think ATAO was? A kindergarten? Is that how you ended up this naive? Everything would have gone smoothly if not for that bloody tree. This is all Nasti's fault. Smoothly? Even a junior assistant under Nasti saw through your tricks. The whole country would have seen your dirty laundry if you weren't every bit as naive as you. So much that he came to me for help. So tell me, how do you plan on dealing with it? Please, help me, sir. Whatever the reason Rhine had to build this floating unit, we can't let them continue to define their own creations. The administration should have had full authority over this, but it has been excluded from the assessment, thanks to your incompetence. You mean we'll need a third party? A scientific consultant who is objective, professional, with the appearance of impartiality. Mr. Tannen, it's a pleasure. He doesn't look like a scientific consultant at all. Can he really handle this Rhine stuff? I visited the floating platform in order to familiarize myself with the assessment subject. It's certainly an impressive tree, and there was plenty of activity in its shade. Over our cold dead bodies!
Mr. Jagger. Just bluffing. Did radiation from beyond the star pod fry our brain or something? You really want to bleed for this? You'll get your wish then. Stop. That uniform. You're with Maylander? We are with the Maylander Foundation's Emergency Management Council. According to the bylaws of Propeller Paradise, the Council has the authority to take over all administrative and management functions in the event of an accident or disaster. You can check with Gordon Tannen and Gustave. Emergency Management Council? Yes, Mr. Jagger. We understand your position, but we advise you to avoid any reckless actions. We are authorized to take extraordinary measures against you and your colleagues, if necessary. So, Propeller Paradise is in a state of emergency, and your preliminary investigation has defined yesterday's event as a special incident? Yes, the Council has established a special investigation team to obtain evidence from the scene and persons of interest. The investigation is ongoing. A hearing is the only fair and just cause of action in the absence of an official judicial institution. We thank you for your patience. Does Rhine keep possession of this floating botanical unit until the hearing? Of course. I hope your investigation is as fair and just as the conclusion you just reached. There is no need to worry. The safety of the temporary floating platform has been ensured. Bravo is resuming patrol. Are we just gonna leave, Mr. Jagger? Mainlander's authority looks real, judging from the reaction of the guards. The hearing keeps getting delayed, and things are still in flux. We won't learn anything if we stay here. Besides, have any of you seen Director Lunaray? A small sand beast in the forest caught my attention. My knowledge told me that this creature usually makes its habitat in the barrens. The frightened beast escaped into the bushes. I pursued it through thorn and briar, driven by curiosity, and found myself gazing upon an unexpected landscape. Do you see it, Fenny?
Yeah! The great desert and the sky. Pink where they meet on the horizon. It's totally different from the pictures in the textbooks. It smells sweet.
That's your mom baking cupcakes. They'll be ready soon.
Tell me again about your adventures in the Eastern Wasteland. No. Tell me about the city in the sky.
There's no rush, Fenny. We have plenty of time, and plenty of adventures to talk about. You'll see everything that I've ever seen. When you grow up and your feet become quicker, I promise.
Stop spinning tall tales to my clients.
Don't blame me for you being boring, trainee. They like my stories better.
My job is to take clients to see places that actually exist.
You think only the places that your company marked exist? What about the things I saw in my youth? I told you, you shouldn't just read from your tourist manual. You need to walk a path that no one has ever seen.
And achieve nothing in life? Get laughed at by the neighbors? And spend my old age spinning tall tales to children? I believed your stories. The flying back beast, floating city, golden pink deserts. They'll always be precious memories. But you believe in your stories too much.
Fern! Come back here! Congratulations, Miss Fern Barn. Your application has been approved. You are now the owner of an independent travel agency.
Thank you. It's a big first step, even if it's a one-woman company.
One woman? I thought there was another name on the application.
Martin Barn, my dad, passed away last year.
I'm sorry.
No need to apologize. I wouldn't have decided to start my own travel agency if not for him. Even if we won't be able to travel together, Martin Barn will always be an important part of this company.
I'm sure he'd be glad. Have you decided your first route? I can recommend a few popular spots.
Is there some place that no one's ever gone before? Most of my peers think my slogan of going into the unknown is just a gimmick. Only my clients and I know how many wonderful sights we saw and how many amazing things we did together. Our destination was Propeller Paradise. I wanted to see what the future would be like, while my client had an ambiguous wish. I swear I didn't mean to sabotage Rhine. My client wasn't in good shape, and you were the only other Banshee I knew of.
No need to apologize. I'm not here to put you on trial. I just wanted to know who you and your client were. I'll be happy to read your autobiography, if you ever publish one. But right now, time is of the essence.
You're worried about the hearing? I don't think the investigation is complete yet, since they keep pushing the date back.
The trial will come sooner than you think. Tell me about your Banshee client, as succinctly as you can. When did you meet? Why did you come here? And, how is her health?
It was 2 months ago, in the bleached wasteland. It's really cold at night. The sand's black, completely different from what Dad said. The outskirts of the bleached wasteland aren't as scary as the stories say. My flesh hasn't been ripped from my bones, and I haven't heard the ghosts of the dead wailing. Wait, what's that shadow on the slope? Don't tell me there are actually our ghosts here!
Is this Columbia? Guide. Guide. Guide.
Are you alright? Pulse and breathing normal. Doesn't seem like dehydration. Well, can't hurt to try.
Am I back in the Convales? No, I haven't seen her yet. Do not mourn me. I must not roast.
Calm down. Do you remember your name?
No.
Where are you going? You're in the bleached wasteland in Columbia. Do you remember what you're here for?
Wasteland? No. She's not here.
What are you looking for? Maybe I can help. Fern's tours will fulfill your every wish, even the ones you think won't come true. And our prices are fair and reasonable. My dad always said that if it hasn't come true yet, there's always a chance. He also said, ma'am! She's lost consciousness. Feather horns. What's this Banshee looking for? And how did she get lost in the bleached wasteland? What are these floating symbols? What language is this? And these golden patterns carrying tiny leaves. Is this her art? The leaves are moving, pointing towards DC? Her memory got fuzzier and fuzzier. I didn't know what was wrong with her, and I got desperate.
You can't stop time.
It's a symptom of age? But her memories...
I've seen this before in the Convales. It goes hand in hand with death. If a Banshee who's starting to lose her memory showed up here, then perhaps it's her last wish to keep what's left of her mind together.
Do you mean...
You're trying to fulfill her dying wish.
She came all the way to Columbia, walked through the bleached wasteland on foot, just to fulfill her final wish? What is she looking for? An object? A truth? Or someone she cared about? I see. Every cop on Propeller Paradise is looking for you. Rhine needs to give everyone an explanation. This delayed hearing is extremely important to you, yet you came to look for a guide you've only met in passing, asking about her client. Unless you already know who she's looking for, or is it you she came to Columbia for?
Thank you for caring for my mother, Fern.
She must still be somewhere on Propeller Paradise. I'll help you look for her.
We're out of time. Please come with us, Director Lunare.
A few more minutes, please. Wait, your uniform. It's not Tannen who sent you.
The Mainlander Emergency Management Council. Your new uniforms look just like the old ones. The Council has completed its investigation concerning the flight of the illegal device that occurred last night. Please accompany us to verify the findings. Please communicate any objections that you may have to avoid unnecessary misunderstandings and waste of time at the hearing.
The investigation is complete. Then why hasn't the hearing started? We've been waiting for 7 hours!
The hearing is delayed, but the trial has already begun.
I can understand if a scientist doesn't like to talk. Have you forgotten how to speak too? I remember I was on the shortlist for promotion. The next day you transferred an official of the same rank over from HQ. He was young, superb, made all the candidates uneasy. We climbed over each other to prove to you that we were the best one for the job. Same old story, isn't it? In the end, you were the one who got the promotion. I was supposed to get it! Nothing is ever supposed to happen, kid. You really think the chief executive of Propeller Paradise is an important post? No. People will only remember the one who gives the opening address. It doesn't necessarily have to be you.
Gordon has his eyes on the Quaranta behind Gustave. The spikes on the Savra's tail rise up on their ends, swaying conspicuously. He is on guard. He knows that Gustave is intentionally agitating his competitiveness, but after so many years at ATAO, he just can't stop himself from provoking his competitors. In order to leave ATAO, he took on tasks that were not his job, pulled strings everywhere, and bowed his head to Gustave, his tormentor. He must not stop now.
What do you think Rhine's device is, Mr. Consultant?
Maybe a variation of a floating botanical unit?
Excuse us.
No. Floating botanical units are electrical cables in the sky. Lightweight and mobility are paramount. What did I see on my way here? 2 empty slots on the tree's internal activator.
My guess is...
Oh, anyone can tell. It's waiting for 2 keys. It doesn't look like the tree will fully activate until a second Rhine Lab section director is present. Unless someone else sneaks into Propeller Paradise unnoticed.
What do you mean?
People might have many theories and speculations about this device because of its appearance and the Rhine name, but I see nothing more than a flying tree, Mr. Gustave.
Are you done? We're not here to write Rhine's paper for them. The delayed hearing has bought us time, but the reason Nasti concealed the tree's existence, a fern sneaked in, and my side hustle, everything needs an explanation.
Enough. Impatience is a sign of fear, and questions are a sign of incompetence. Our consultant here has already given us the answer.
What is it?
Rhine's device is pretty low risk, but also invites all kinds of speculation. Therefore, our definition of it can be as big or as small as we want it to be.
What else do you need me to do, sir?
Do as you're told. All you need to do is what you're told. Stop pushing! Please, let me through. I have something to ask the desk. Don't waste your time. They don't know when the hearing is. I just want to know if I should come forward to the investigation. Listen, we're impatient too. No one can do anything to move the hearing process forward, unless you're actually involved in the case. Let me guess. You took out a Sky loan, didn't you? Yes. There were 6 grocers like me back home. We spent our days betting drinks on the direction that Tumbleweed rolled until 2 years ago. The Sky, the Star Pod, life free of Originium, a brand new frontier for Columbia. I didn't understand the thing that the TV and newspapers said, but I saw the light that night. I sold my shop, abandoned my wife, took out a huge loan, and went into Propeller Paradise without ever looking back. I've already heard a dozen stories like that today. Take a banner and go join the protest instead of hanging your head here. Aspen looks down at the protest banner in his hand. The fabric is silver, a reflective material commonly used by flying machines. Lucky Sisty Beast furniture uses the same materials too. Aspen does not understand how it became so popular so quickly. The sofa reflects his face whenever he walks past it. It is patently absurd. Yet the sight of the silvery fabric also causes his heart to leap, as though the future is really in his hands, and luck is really on his side. I'll make it. I'll make it through this hearing. Even if I'm put on trial and thrown in jail, I'll make sure the name Lucky Sisty Beast and my exhibits stay on Propeller Paradise, where everybody can see them. Things will turn out fine. Lucky Sisty Beast will bring me luck.
He's never been late before. Was he delayed by the protests? Or did he get lost on the way?
The structure of Propeller Paradise is certainly complex, but it's not so hard to understand if you see it as a massive Rankfoot film set.
I remember the Pioneer Era classics that you started in. People still think your metal body was some kind of special effect.
You have a good memory. Transportation of the limiting layer is very interesting. The combination of steel wires and ball pods seems like some sort of amusement park. I apologize for the delay. I had to make a few rounds to humor these 3 stooges.
I haven't had a chance to greet them yet.
No need to be nervous. Young Mainlander agents always attract too much attention. It takes someone with a calmer demeanor like you to play the part of a secretary. But I can't help but feel like you're starting to go too far with this seriousness thing. Tenen isn't an easy customer, is he?
He has a personality. It's not hard to read.
Good work. Your timing a few days ago was impeccable. A single squad eliminated 2 major risks before the exhibition. I'll be sure to make a note on your annual assessment.
I'm flattered.
The suspension of Propeller Paradise's administrative and engineering functions has created plenty of room for Mainlander to operate. Gustav's desire to work with us is clear. He has already sent people to deal with Rhine's devices, and he intends to personally instruct his subordinates.
I guess all that's left is a hearing to placate the public.
You have questions about the delay of the hearing, don't you?
It's not like Mainlander to stall.
Since when did you pick up an impatient streak? Everything happens in due course. We're not only here to investigate. Such a beautiful, futuristic city. I leave Columbia for a few months, and all sorts of new stuff pop up. How long will it take to make a full round of the levitation layer?
Less than an hour by ropeway.
Very good. I would like to enjoy a nice view of Propeller Paradise before the hearing.
Holy buff Uma! My god! And no name! Anyway, before I get into anything specific, first off, one new enemy, which is the Sky Strider Porta Potty. What is the most important feature for a facility that can avoid the traffic and reach the client in time, regardless of road conditions? The Volvort Koczynski Flying Restroom, which ceased production after just 2 weeks, was definitely not the answer. Perhaps the price of 500 certs per call was too much. 500 just to take a piss or a shit? What the? That is too much. They don't specify if it's gold certificates, but that is too much. Come on. What the hell? 500? Damn, buddy. That is way too expensive. But yeah, interesting once again. So first off, Mainlander protecting the tree right now and keeping it there, and so no one approaches or destroys it or whatever the hell, or more rather that the ATAO doesn't get their hands, and Gordon and Gustava get their hands on the thing. Very interesting. Makes sense again. Mainlander is always a very interesting company when it comes to this kind of stuff, and how they deal with certain things. But anyway, Tin Man is also here. You know, speaking of Mainlander, Tin Man is finally here as well in the story. Very interesting. Nasti learned about the fact that, yeah, it is Viela who is here, and yeah, that she is on her deathbed, essentially, on her final days or hours. Again, like I said, I'm really suspecting the story's pretty much probably gonna end with one of the last things being the old woman dying, probably, and it's gonna be sad. I'm just prepping myself here, and hopefully everybody else, if it happens. Good God, it's way too on the nose with that kind of stuff, at least in this story. But yeah, big horseman. Very big horseman. Okay, so I will preface this right now. I have a suspicion who he might be. However, I repeat, I do not want anybody to confirm this on this episode. Leave it for the next. Because I'm presuming we're gonna learn in the next part who the hell this guy is. Because right now, they're doing the good old song and dance around the whole thing of, we're not gonna tell you, but we might tease around. And they didn't even really do much around teasing outside of saying that he's a consultant that they got on board that knows Rhine Lab very well. Which just signifies that, yeah, he's part of Rhine Lab, but who in Rhine Lab is he? And, I mean, honestly, based on the design and everything, the guy looks like he's one of the heads. He's one of the heads of one of the departments. And, my speculation right now, and once again, I do not want a confirmation, this is pure speculation. My speculation is that he is the head of the department that Magellan works with. And the name is escaping me right now, and this is another reason why I do not want a confirmation of the name or anything, just leave it out of the whole shtick. I don't want to look it up right now. I was tempted to look it up just to remind myself what the hell the guy's name is, but I'm too terrified to look it up right now, because if it is who I'm suspecting it to be, I'm just gonna spoil myself. So, better not. But yeah, I'm expecting the guy to be Magellan's boss, essentially, which would make, honestly, sense, I would say, but I'm purely basing it on how the guy looks. Why? Well, if it's him, he pretty much goes around a lot, right? He does a lot of field investigations and stuff out in the field, essentially. So him being the guy would make a lot of sense. This guy is buff. This guy's a Mustang. It's like, holy shit. Actually, I think he is supposed to be a I mean, like with all the other characters, he's probably supposed to be a very specific horse breed. which name I don't remember right now. I don't think he's based on a Mustang. At least I don't remember the Mustang breed having like black furred versions of themselves, unless I'm wrong. Maybe there are, but I'm just calling him a Mustang because Mustangs are usually super buff horses. But anyway, definitely leaves an impression. The guy definitely leaves an impression. I don't know how this is gonna turn out and what his goal here is gonna be, but he might just be another character that is just working from behind the scenes. It would be funny, honestly, if it turns out that even ATAO doesn't know that this guy is an actual Rhine Lab guy, like an actual head of a department. And they're just doing a bamboozle here. I would not be honestly surprised. The guy is always out and about somewhere. Most people don't even get to see him. So who knows? Maybe that's gonna be the case. But yeah, a lot of stuff is happening in this story. A lot of elements, both in the foreground and the background. And it's very, very interesting. And next time we're gonna be finishing this off. But before I leave you guys off into the clip section, we have a character to recruit. So, Mr. Skybox with a plastic back on your head, come here. Singularity, okay.
一本やるよ、ドクター。ほれ、キラ。何、ただのオリジニウム花火だよ。もっとすげえもんはいくらでもある。今日うまく話がつけば、明日にはあんたの手元に届くさ。種類、タバコ、アーツユニットおよびオリジニウム製品管理局所属。ゴードン・タネンだ。よろしくな。
Okay, okay. Okay, very interesting. I'm gonna have to read his file to figure out how the shit did he get to be part of Rhodes Island at the end. Also, what does this say? Skybox with his elaborate titles, blah blah. Be the ATAO or Propeller Paradise, they're just pixels on Skybox's map. Okay. Very curious. But yeah, next time we're gonna be finishing this story off. So until then, enjoy the clip section of this part, and I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did so, please consider leaving a like. It would mean it would help a lot. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. And if you want to support me more directly, memberships are open on the channel. Like I always say, no video will be behind a membership. It's purely there for support. So thank you very much to all the members already doing so. Much appreciated. And I hope you all have a fantastic day wherever you are. And I will see you in the next one. Until then, bye-bye. Oh, flashback. Hey, there is the old lady. I was literally speculating if we were going to be seeing this old lady at any given point. Okay. Considering the dilapidated background, this is definitely back in Kazdel. Uh-huh. I wonder how far back this is gonna be. Let's see. Whoa! Oh, an actual, like full-on just called gargoyle. Wow. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, because of the because of the wings and the horns, getting flashbacks to that good old 90s cartoon gargoyles. Who remembers that one? God, I loved that cartoon when I was young. Holy shit, this is throwing me back now. This is the weirdest nostalgia trip ever. Wow, an actual unique gargoyle sprite and character. Who are you gonna turn out to be, old man? Then a black branch-like horn emerges from the dust-covered leaves. Uh-huh. Interesting. A Sarkaz, who is, snooping through the garden. Get lost or I'll rip your head off. Who is this? I would not hurt a child. Oh my lord. Nasti! Oh my god. looks adorable. What the hell? Tiny little wooden doll sculpture, whatever that is as well. Branch. Interesting, a branch on her shoulder. Like under the other branch on her shoulder? What is that about? Wow, that is super cute. Alright. Before Viola can react, the young Banshee has snatched the roosting tree branch from her hand and begins trying to eat it. That is a disgusted face. Don't eat the branch that the roosting tree branch. Actually, another thing about it. Is that gonna be the tree that was shown at the beginning in the background CG for the place where the old woman, where Viola went to, well, outlive her last couple of days, in a sense? Is it gonna be that? Or is that tree maybe what they're... Maybe it's that? I don't know. I don't know enough about, like, Banshee folklore, what the tree would symbolize. It's either gonna turn out to be just that tree in a symbolic way, something to do with passing on, or it's the tree they're getting their quote-unquote bone pence from, maybe? Or something else? I don't know, I'm just speculating on the usual folklore behind trees and stuff like that in symbolism. Anyway, get away from me. Menacing howl, holy shit. Okay, so this is gonna be the connection between these two, huh? The old woman is gonna take young Nasti with her, and she's gonna raise her, and I'm guessing this story is also gonna show us then the reason, or the moment Nasti is gonna decide to depart the Convalis before she's even a fully fledged Banshee and is gonna wander away until she reaches Columbia. That'll be actually interesting. I'm fully on board with a full-on, like, Nasti backstory if they're doing that with this whole thing. I've not heard this note in this song of the Banshees for a long time. Years ago, the last one who sang it. Interesting. Okay, I wonder whose child she is then supposed to be. If the old lady knows... Is that the presence of a Banshee has sense and what... Wither decay? Okay. So yeah, that's why she leaves the... leaves the room she's in. Cause she recognized Nasti and her incantations. Okay. She knew Nasti by name. I don't think that's because she heard her do like a Banshee howl, but she indicated that she knows the person who gave birth to her, essentially, or who her parent is. So, I wonder who it's gonna be. We'll see.
There are some things I still have to look into, but I've suspected that Mr. Tannen has been plotting against Rhine ever since he agreed to help the mysterious Banshee, guess for no apparent...
Ooh. Oh, she's the one keeping a look on him, or keeping a close eye on him. Oh, okay, interesting. I wonder who you're gonna be. I mean, she's either working for the Tobacco Arts Units, blah 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 blah, the ATAO, or she's working directly for the Columbian military. Or she's working for Maylander. It'll probably be one of the three, but this just seems like she's working for someone else from this little bit of text here. Like she's someone who is sent here to keep watch over Gordon. And honestly, it can literally only be one of the three, because they have like the biggest sway in everything. Columbian military and politics in general, that is self-explanatory. Could be that she works directly for Mark Max and the vice president. Then what was the other one? ATAO is, I mean, that's pretty much self-explanatory. And yeah, Maylander pretty much oversees a shit ton of stuff, so Maylander sending someone in to look after Gordon and maybe the rest of stuff that is happening here as well could also be a pretty self-explanatory thing. Unless it's gonna be a fourth option that I cannot think of right now, but yeah, that kind of checks out. That's very interesting. I did suss her out already because of the closed eyes and then the shift in personality, the tiny bit shift in personality and demeanor when she opens her eyes and starts talking in with that slightly different facial expression as well. Anyway, the Propeller Paradise police are now in charge of investigating the incident. Wait, the PPP? No! The triple P! The PPP! Someone either knew what they were doing? I hope this is a P joke as well in Chinese. That is stupid. I'm a grown man. Why am I joking about piss? Fuck's sake. Try to run again and I start breaking bones. What the fuck?
There's someone inside?
Oh, he was beating up Oakley. the real Oakley. Oh, ow. Ouch. Oh, another flashback to Rhine? Hey, there's Mumu. That is the Mumu. The Mumu that is in Kjerag.
Relax. Not even Ferdinand would complain about the results you're pulling.
That's because I blocked his email. Nice. Nice. Mute. Oh, that's kind of hilarious. That is absolutely hilarious. So it was a drill. It was just like a Frankfurt blockbuster. What was it called? Battlefield Shadow Moon? Yes, yes, references, I love it. References, I love it. Let's go. Fuck's sake. Every single time they're gonna bring up Frankfurt and some obscure freaking movie, it's gonna be a reference to an actual movie. I love it. I love it. Please milk the shit out of Frankfurt, please. That is stupidly good. Don't blow it up, it might be somebody below. Don't try to talk way out of. Oh. Gordon then looks up into the smoke and dust as he forces his teary eyes open, trying to see just what is going on. Oh, it's those two, okay. They're crashing through the roof. A familiar figure descends amidst the rubble and dust, her legs flailing wildly. He just ordered her arrest several hours ago. They are only about 90 centimeters apart, but their brains working feverishly to process the situation. As they await the impending impact, there is only time for them to say a single word. Shit! Yes! The long and lengthy internal monologue between both of them. Processing everything that is happening in a split second. And it all culminates in shit! This story is very entertaining so far. This is all Nasti. Nasty Nasties. Nasty. Wow, we're really playing that stupid joke now, huh? We are really playing that stupid joke. Good on you. Good on you. Mm-hmm.
What's he planning? He's going to make you an offer.
He's going to make you an offer. You can't refuse. No. Come on, come on. The other Rankford thing was already something. Come on, not a Godfather reference. Oh my god. Okay. The average, ordinary one who in his eyes must always be protected. He has never turned around to look back at her. Not since he witnessed the miracle. Oh, buddy, have you really not gone back to make contact with your family since then? I get it from the other flashback that he doesn't have good relations with his parents, but his sister, really? She seemed to be very sweet to you, you fucking dingus. I hope that's not what the sentence just meant.
If not for... Sir...
Okay, so... Mercia is hiding the old Banshee lady right now? Why? Security reasons, or is there more? A Lithanian spire. Were you...
A
Lithanian spire? Were you were you imprisoned there? I was misreading. Were you imprisoned me? Were you imprisoned there as a test subject? Oh, could that... I mean, what Lakaramalin was saying at the beginning of the story just seems like Banshees just get to a point where they start losing their memories for some reason in super old age, but could this have maybe accelerated the whole thing? As a test subject, ooh.
You would have been buried beneath the tomes of the Spirecasters, if not for the aid of a lich.
Oh, the aid of a lich. Oh, that has to be Fremont. Okay, so... Interesting. So she was, for some reason, somehow imprisoned by Lithanian forces. Interesting. That might have happened after the invasion of Kazdel from like 200 plus years ago. Where all forces, like all the big armies combined into one and attacked Kazdel the last time, essentially. Okay. Maybe she was imprisoned there, brought to Lithanian. Okay, what is this now? Interesting. This sounds more like she's analyzing... Yeah, and finally you came here. Okay, so no. So not from the distant past, but is her power with art something like memory analysis? Interesting. Oh yeah, she's definitely a spy. She's definitely a spy if she can coax out people's memories like a visual process. If that's the case here. Okay, interesting. So when she left the if that is the case, so she left the Convalis, she ended up in Lithanian, where a rogue section of Spirecasters probably imprisoned her, and then she was saved by a lich, which was more than likely Fremont, and then she continued all the way until she got to Laterano. Laterano let her in, or at least... Laterano let her in. The Pontifica Chorus is pretty much Laterano. So Laterano let her in, and that is purely because times have changed, so some stuff is a bit more lenient now. And after Laterano, after she pretty much got chased away, she comes to Columbia, where she is now, essentially. Interesting. Very interesting. Oh, hi. Who are you meeting? Who's this shady bitch? He has a lot of documents. Some contact of yours? Alright. There is a risk that you will be exposed. Do you need the Emergency Management Council to intervene? Oh, she's Mainlander. Oh, she's a Mainlander spy. Okay, so she was part of the three that I was suspecting. Ooh, so she works for Tin Man. Aha. Ooh, this is getting more and more interesting. So much espionage and political intrigues and smuggling and bullshit and And the fantastical, ooh, and sci-fi. Oh, the story has all. The story literally has everything that I like in it. It's like the story is pandering to me. That looked like Nasti, but like a projection, a hologram. What's happening? Is that so? Is it? Okay, that's not Nasti. That's Mumu pretending to be Nasti. That wink immediately gives it away. The wink and the smile. Mumu, please. If you're pretending to be someone else, go all the way. This is Uncanny Valley now. Or Moe Gap, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, that looks so off. She looks so off with that facial expression. Yeah, that is a Mumu expression. That has to be Mumu. Especially with all the water effects and everything. The fuck is she doing now? Ooh. Reverse rain? Also music. Oh my god. Nasti's gonna kill you, Mumu. Don't let her know that you're doing this expression. Also, reverse rain. What is this? Reverse 1999? Where's Merton? Get umbrellas. Get the reverse umbrellas before the shit happens again. If this was Banshee witchcraft, but there is something that scares him even more. Nasti bends down at him with a cute expression that the one by the name would never wear. Yeah, that's the terrifying thing. Yep, I agree. Nasti with that kind of facial expression is not. Yeah, no. That doesn't fit. That doesn't fit. Oh, wow. Oh. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna call it here right now. The end of the story is literally just gonna be these two reconciling and the old lady perishing away, probably. This is how I see the story going at the end. They're definitely building up the meeting. They're reminiscing a lot about the relationship of these two, flashing back to Nasti's childhood with her, Viola raising her, and the such. Yeah, and also considering that they hammered already away that she's on her way out. Yeah, this story is definitely gonna have a bittersweet ending of the old lady passing away due to her age or whatever the hell is gonna happen, and Nasti gonna have to say goodbye right after she reconciles with her or something like that. This is gonna suck at the end. This is gonna suck at the end. Stay behind me, Miss Celine. Oh, Celine. Oh, is that her real name? Okay. Okay, nice, interesting, nice. Whoa. Oh, she... I thought she planted a whole new tree, but... Ooh, did she... Oh, also this looks weird. Oh, did she maybe use the... I forgot what the substance was called, that liquid stuff that Dorothy was using. Did she maybe use that to recreate the tree from the Convalis? Here? Whoa. Why though? Why would this be here though then? Oh, maybe Maybe she's using a technology because earlier they said that they don't care if the plants die. Maybe they're trying to use the tech, or rather maybe she is trying to use the technology to create like something like an artificial plant life that can be taken into space and can produce the same results, maybe? Or maybe it has to do something just with the Banshees in general, that she's trying to recreate the tree here. But yeah, why? Okay. A tall, dark figure walks past the rear of the crowd, footsteps clanking.
Yo, who the fuck is this buff bitch?
Hi? Whoa, that is an imposing fucker. Uh-huh. So this is Rhine's tree. Who are you? And I'm not gonna say it right now. Shit. Okay. Interesting. We are still introducing new characters into the story, and I'm like roughly halfway through. Or pretty much halfway through. Yes, the design of the Mail Emergency Management Council badge is pretty nice. You should try one on. I'm gonna presume, especially with the mention of the saddle earlier, that this is probably Tin Man right now that she's speaking to. Is my mission over? Oh yeah, definitely Tin Man. Definitely Tin Man, he's our superior after all. A scientific consultant who is objective, professional, with the appearance of impartiality. Yo! The scientific consultant! Holy horse! That is a buff fucking horse. Who the shit are you? Okay. Uh-huh. Looks like he belongs maybe in some division of Rhine Lab? Exploration something something? Potentially? I don't know. Yeah, he has the equipment of someone who definitely goes on like long, if he is a Rhine Lab person, on like long science expeditions into the wild. Which might actually explain the buff build. Who is Horseman? And these sons of bitches are not gonna tell me who that horse is again. What is this horse teasing bullshit? Okay. Okay. Now, game. Now you're gonna tell me who Big Horseman is, right? We just went through an emotional scene. Now tell me who Big Horseman is. And I'm again being horse teased. Again being horse teased. Alright. Alright, game. Thanks. They're gonna keep that for later. I get it. I get it. For whenever something happens. He's definitely someone from Rhine, but which division? Ooh. Ooh. Is it, shit. I was speaking earlier, or rather saying earlier that he looks like he wanders around a lot, or walks around a lot, or explores around a lot, whatever the fuck. Is he maybe, I can't remember what the division is called anymore. Fuck. The same department as Magellan? Is that maybe Magellan's boss? Well, if that's her boss, I never pictured a guy to look like that. God, I keep forgetting what his name is. I think it was... What was it? I think it began with an M. Mayor? No, wait, not Mayor. That's another character. Shit, I forgot what his name is. Whatever. If it's him, it's him. It's gonna be hilarious. Regardless.